Hello, fellow adventurer, and welcome to the Reparenting podcast. I'm your host, Jane, ready to journey with you and exchange notes on the essential themes of life. Today, instead of our planned episode, I want to share a personal update and how I've been putting the lessons of reparenting into practice. This episode is dedicated to my depression buddy. You know who you are, and thank you for all the support you've given me. I hope you enjoy this podcast. Taking back control when nothing goes as planned. Instead of the planned episode, part 2 of Finding Your Tribe, I want to let you in on what's been going on and the reason it's been taking me so long to publish something new. As Mr. Rogers would say, anything that's human is mentionable, and anything that is mentionable can be more manageable. When we can talk about our feelings, they become less overwhelming, less upsetting, and less scary. I'd like to now talk a little bit about my feelings as well as how to take back control when nothing goes as planned. Because the last 5 months have been exceptionally challenging for me. One might even call it a series of unfortunate events. Sometimes life gives you onions and a knife, and all you can really do is cry. I thought that by now I would have a baby of my own to nurture and care for. I thought that all my years of therapy, healthy and self-care habits, and the reparenting work would be sufficient to keep another major depressive episode at bay. I thought that my relationship with my husband would only grow stronger with time and the weathering of life's highs and lows together. What I didn't foresee were the things outside of my control, which didn't line up with my plans. Infertility, getting physically injured. I had a fall, dealing with tennis elbow, ITB syndrome, cervical spinal disc disease. The worsening of IBS issues, likely due to the extra stress, causing a feedback loop with my anxiety. The full-time job, which is physically and emotionally demanding and has been making it difficult for me to find the time to devote to this podcast. Facing relationship and communication struggles with my husband, compounded by job stress and the challenges of infertility. I didn't realize that the combo of health, job, relationship challenges, and grief about our infertility had added up to me being depressed. Even now, I'm still grappling with the news. My first task, aside from accepting the reality that yes, I am likely experiencing a major depressive episode, is to forgive myself for the stuff that is not my fault. Essentially, to recognize the factors which were and are outside my control. And stop blaming myself for not being able to realize my life's dream. I did the best I could with the info that I had at the time. I did the best I could with the info that I had at the time. I'm giving myself permission to take things day by day. I am doing the best that I can, and I can still do more. This is a lesson that I learned from dialectical behavior therapy or DBT for short, that one can hold two seemingly opposite beliefs at the same time, and both of these are true. I don't know what the future holds, but I do know that right now, here in the present, I have a lot of feelings to process. I have a lot of guilt to let go of. And I have to learn to make peace with uncertainty. I have to learn to make peace with the idea that my life may now be headed in a direction that I had never dreamed of. I want to get better at saying goodbye to the imagined child that I will likely never meet. I want to get better at releasing my anger about what feels unfair. I worked so hard to get to a stable place, and now I find out it might not actually matter how hard I try. No amount of effort can change reality. I might be destined to live with major depression my whole life, and I might be destined to never be pregnant or give birth to a child of my own. What do I actually have control over? Well, a lot. I can control how I will respond to life's challenges. Will I nurture gratitude and acceptance? Will I find new dreams to hope and put my energy towards? Or will I nurture my disappointment, giving in to self-blame, self-loathing for not doing enough to make my dream come true? Or give in to despair and hopelessness? I can control how I will spend my free time. Books I will read, games I will play, and self-care habits. I can control if I will go to physio and do the exercise to strengthen my body to help it heal. I can control, or I do control, the choices I make regarding medications or treatments that I will use to help me with my depression. I control the people I will surround myself with as I heal. I control which forms of self-expression I will use to help me express my feelings and help me to complete my grieving, such as journaling, this podcast, singing, talking to friends, and reading the book Grief Recovery Handbook. I can control how I speak towards myself, either with compassion, kindness, as a friend would, or being too hard on myself, which I'm often apt to do. I can control how I interact with my husband and the effort that I put into repairing our marriage and building back up our intimacy, our level of closeness and trust following the recent challenges. Often, when you think you're at the end of something, you're at the beginning of something else. This is another quote by Mr. Rogers. He also said that you'll be the one to decide your next steps, and the next steps won't all be easy, not by any means, but if they're honest, they'll be worth the try. Any real work has its tough times, you know that, and any real love has its trials. I wish you the kind of life's work in which you can use the greatest part of who you are. And I wish you the kind of life's love that will enhance all that you do, as well as all that you are. Before I end this episode, I'd like to leave you with a poem that has helped me to be more accepting of where I am in my life, despite not being where I would want to be. It's called Be the Best of Whatever You Are by Douglas Malloch. If you can't be a pine on the top of the hill, be a scrub in the valley, but be the best little scrub by the side of the rill. Be a bush if you can't be a tree. If you can't be a bush, be a bit of the grass, and some highway happier make. If you can't be a muskie, then just be a bass, but the liveliest bass in the lake. We can't all be captains, we've got to be crew. There's something for all of us here. There's big work to do, and there's lesser to do, and the task you must do is the near. If you can't be a highway, then just be a trail. If you can't be the sun, be a star. It isn't by size that you win or you fail. Be the best of whatever you are. I hope that this poem can inspire you to be the best of whatever you are, and I hope that you can find ways to take back control of your life when things don't go according to the plan you have set out for yourself. If you want to share some of your experiences with us related to these topics, or have other questions about reparenting, please email us at reparentingpodcast@gmail.com. Thank you for any feedback that you can bring, and I really appreciate the support. And thank you so much for listening. Take care.